Hey everyone, I'm Debbie Baldwin and I'm the Director of Product Management for Manufacturing. I'm really excited to be your host today for the Acumatica Manufacturing Edition breakout session. Joining me today is Angie Rowley, also Product Manager for Manufacturing. Before we get started, let me run through a few housekeeping items. If you have any questions about this breakout session and related topics, please send your questions through the Q&A box. We also encourage you to attend the other breakout sessions after this session ends. All the 25R2 virtual launch event sessions will be available on demand through the same registration page. During today's manufacturing breakout session, we're going to focus on the following. First, I'll provide a high-level introduction to the manufacturing edition. We'll then showcase a customer that's benefiting from running their manufacturing operations with our application. Angie will provide a demonstration of a manufacturing workflow, highlighting a few new features like lot and serial attributes, anomaly detection, and overhead cost improvements. And then we'll wrap it up by talking about our enhancements to scheduling. So let's get started. First, let's take a moment to recognize the vital role that manufacturers play in the global supply chain. You're the heartbeat of production, working tirelessly to source raw materials and components, coordinating with suppliers and logistics providers to ensure everything arrives on time, and ultimately crafting high-quality goods for your B2B and B2C customers. It's no small feat, and we know it requires a delicate balancing act, and we're here to support you through the challenges that arise. At Acumatica, our mission is clear. We want to simplify that complexity with industry-focused digital solutions. We're excited to help you to harness advanced technologies that enable smarter decision-making, streamline your operations, and elevate your customer experiences. Together, we can unlock new levels of profitability and growth. Our manufacturing edition, built on Acumatica's powerful cloud-native platform, brings this vision to life. The beauty of our platform is it's modular and scalable. You can start with what you need right now and effortlessly expand as your business grows. Whether you're in discrete manufacturing and process manufacturing or navigating a mixed mode environment, our tailored industry editions are designed with your unique needs in mind. One of the standout features of our solution is its open APIs and seamless integration with over 300 third-party applications. This makes it incredibly easy to connect Acumatica to strategic tools that complement our offerings. Offerings like the innovative solutions we'll be showcasing today. And let's not forget the importance of being mobile and adaptable in today's fast-paced world. Our platform is mobile first and remote ready, ensuring your teams are supported no matter where they are, whether on the shop floor, in the warehouse, or working from home. Looking ahead, we're committed to investing in solutions that address real-world business challenges with AI and machine learning. These technologies empower you to automate routine tasks and make data-driven decisions faster. Coming soon will be smart manufacturing recommendations that will leverage Acumatica's AI technology. At Acumatica, we're not just building software. We're crafting a robust ecosystem of deep industry capabilities on a modern platform to fuel your success. Thank you for trusting us to be part of your journey, and let's embark on this exciting adventure together. One of the aspects I appreciate most about our manufacturing edition is its versatility. We don't just cater to one type of manufacturer. We support businesses across a wide range of markets, whether you operate on a make-to-order, engineer-to-order, configure-to-order, or make-to-stock basis. We've developed tools that align with your needs. We recognize that your challenges vary. Some of you are navigating complex production processes, while others are coordinating inventory across multiple plants. Many of you are balancing both of these demands, all while striving to deliver products with greater speed and precision than ever before. We're committed to ensuring that Acumatica remains flexible, scalable, and deeply integrated, allowing you to adapt quickly, serve your customers better, and grow with confidence. So what does all that look like? The Manufacturing Edition focuses on the key capabilities you need to run your business and enable your growth. We help you manage production with precision, streamline procurement and supply chain management, optimize shop floor operations, and connect your front office with back-end finance and reporting, and so much more. Acumatica Manufacturing Edition is a comprehensive solution designed to meet the real-world needs of modern manufacturers. Today, we're going to highlight one of our customers, Eastman Music Company. Eastman Music Company has been crafting fine instruments for over 30 years, beginning in 1992, with a mission to produce high-quality yet affordable violins, violas, cellos, and basses using traditional handcrafting techniques. Over time, they expanded into archtop guitars, mandolins, acoustic flat tops, and electric guitars, all built with the same dedication to craftsmanship. Eastman prides itself on reviving the golden age of instrument making, blending old-world artistry with modern innovation. Their instruments are loved by professional musicians, educators, and hobbyists around the world. Let's watch this short video featuring Eastman Music Company, where they talk about how they're using Acumatica Manufacturing Edition to better serve their customers.
So Eastman Music Company started in 1992, based out of Boston. The owner of the company, Chen Ni, is a Chinese immigrant who came to the US to study music professionally. He actually imported 3 violins, and from there, he turned it into what Eastman Music Company is today, which is a global company, 12 physical locations throughout the world, in Asia, mainland China, Europe, Netherlands, Switzerland, the United States, Canada, and Australia, starting from orchestral strings all the way up through brass wind instruments, woodwind instruments, guitars, from the student instrument all the way up to the most, expensive custom. We use the expertise of our artists, of our craftsmen to make a better product. I realized that Sage, our IT, ERP support in itself was its own liability. We were dealing with the struggles of having this massive explosive growth, but having this outdated and antiquated product where we just couldn't connect and reliably know that we're going to be able to look up information, and it became a hindrance.
I think one of the things that was a big challenge for us is managing the inventory and getting information to sales staff, customer service staff, as far as quoting accurate ETAs on product.
We were going to come to a point to where we weren't going to be able to continue to scale our growth because of the limitations of our ERP system.
The struggles that they had with the multiple databases with their legacy ERP platform, based on the company structure of Acumatica, where you had multiple companies within the same shared chart of accounts, items, and customers. They did a lot of intercompany sales between those brands, so it seemed like the perfect fit.
ISS has been wonderful to work with. We've had a great relationship. The best way I could say is they feel like an employee.
Fast forward to Acumatica, and a lot of those same processes have become so much easier and more efficient. Tracking inventory, quoting ETAs, looking up inventory in the system.
Doing the intercompany transactions and reconciling that could take us a whole day to 2 days in a span of like a whole week of closing the financials, whereas in intercompany and Acumatica, it takes us like 5 seconds.
And as far as setting up a new company, when it's a domestic company or international company, it's very easy for them to do on their own.
Upload the data, export data, match it, reconcile, and then you're good.
One thing that we've really seen as a very specific time saver is training new employees. New employees latch on to Acumatica so much faster than they ever did Sage. We don't have to teach how to navigate Acumatica. It's so intuitive because it's built like a website that you interface with every day. Acumatica's GI function really is a game changer for us to be able to create our own reports, our own inquiries, start utilizing the dashboard features. I'm able to spoon feed the information that would have been hard for people like sales staff to be able to get at their fingertips.
Which allows us to convey that information to our customers, and our customer service department is able to stay on top of updating orders, providing ETAs to customers in a much more efficient manner than we did prior to Acumatica. We get the comments that Eastman is their most reliable vendor to deal with as far as timely and accurate information, particularly for ETAs, delivery times, inventory availability, all those type of things that mean a lot to our customers.
With Acumatica, it's really about the scalability, and in a lot of ways I feel like the handcuffs are off. Things I think about and conceive of being able to happen are so much easier in Acumatica because the limitations of the data are kind of gone with the generic inquiry or ease of adding customer-defined fields and things of that nature. I feel like for a long time it's going to be able to help us to scale our business and be dynamic and change in the way we need it to, just because the infrastructure is built in a way to not create limitations.
Okay, now moving on to the demo. Angie is going to present a demonstration that includes existing workflows. Plus, she'll highlight some of the new features that were added with 2025 R2. Angie, over to you.
Hearing how Acumatica helped Eastman Music Company orchestrate success is music to my ears. Now I have the privilege of providing a demo of the manufacturing features new with 2025 R2. To help provide a nice demo flow, we will use a fictitious scenario for a company called Thanks a Lot. Thanks a Lot specializes in manufacturing advanced gun turrets for both the government and commercial sectors. As a defense contractor, the company is regulated and must meet compliance requirements. This requires full traceability of material origins for any component used in a government-bound product to avoid regulatory penalties. Due to the volatility in steel prices, an essential material in the gun turret production, periodic bill of material cost roll-ups are necessary to maintain accurate pricing and protect profit margins. Thanks a Lot government contracts are typically large-scale and span several months. Therefore, real-time cost tracking is critical. Promptly capturing variable costs and identifying anomalies early helps prevent budget overruns and ensures projects remain financially on track. Using the Acumatica 2025 R2 for manufacturers, I will demonstrate how Thanks a Lot can utilize the latest features to better address their business needs. First, I will highlight the redesigned BOM cost roll-up screens when updating the standard costs of steel to produce the gun turret. We will explore a couple of minor enhancements that make the generation process more flexible, and I will review and process the cost roll results on a new screen. Then I will create a production order for a gun turret as part of an Acumatica project task to simulate a long-term government contract. One of the work centers of the production order is configured to capture variable overhead based on material cost. When issuing material to the production order, I will highlight the ability to search materials using attributes to select the specific lot containing attributes that meet my criteria. When I release the material batch, I will show how the variable overhead cost is calculated and posted to the journal. I will then partially complete the production order and enter attributes for the serial track gun turret being received into inventory. Lastly, I will run the production total variance generic inquiry and have AI anomaly detection serve up production orders where variances are severely abnormal. Let's dive into it. Using the engineering workbench, let's take a look at Thanks a Lot's gun turret multi-level bills of material. Notice that steel is a significant raw material component. Due to a steady increase in steel purchase costs over the past few months, the cost accountant has recommended updating the standard cost in the system. I want to perform a cost roll-up for the gun turret bill of material to see how the proposed increase in cost will affect all the subassemblies and finished goods. Let's open up the new Generate Cost Roll-Ups screen. Starting in 2025 R2, the BOM cost rollup process has been split into two screens. Previously, a single screen handled both previewing and committing cost rollup changes. With this release, users will first generate the cost rollup and then process the cost rollup results. This separation better aligns with typical Acumatica user workflows and helps reduce training complexity. Additionally, both the generate and process steps can now be scheduled as automated tasks. The layout of the Generate Cost Rollup screen will be familiar to current Acumatica users, as it retains the same filters and cost rollup options in the summary section. Let's focus on the center column, where two new options have been introduced. The first one I'd like to highlight is the BOM Material ID parameter. This is a powerful function. By entering a stock item ID, I can instantly filter the list of bills of material to show only those that include the specified item as a material component. It's a great way to narrow the results when I generate the cost rollup. The second new option in the center column is the Ignore Replenishment Source checkbox. Since today I am working with the gun turret, I will enter the BOM ID and choose Multi-Level Cost Rollup. And notice when the checkbox is cleared, the system applies a filter and will only show bills of material where the item's replenishment source is set to manufacturing. This helps focus the view specifically on items that are produced in-house. When this box is selected, the system will display all bills of material associated with the inventory item in the grid, regardless of how the item is replenished. This is especially useful when a cost accountant wants a comprehensive view of component items that are sometimes manufactured and sometimes outsourced. Notice there are 7 bills of materials displayed that have a source set to manufacturing. When I click Ignore Replenishment Source, the list grows to 9, as the muzzle brake default replenishment is set to purchase, and the thermal sleeve default replenishment is set to transfer. Since the steel raw material is a standard costed purchased item, I will check Use Pending Standard Cost for Purchased Item checkbox, so I can see how the increased pending cost will affect all levels of the gun turret BOM. Now I am ready to choose Process All to generate cost rollup results for the gun turret and all subassemblies. The standard pop-up panel informs me of how many bills of material were processed successfully. Had I received any errors or warnings, I could review them here as well. Before we take a look at the cost results, I will provide a brief tour of the new Process Cost Rollup Results screen. An action dropdown provides clear visibility into available operations for rollup results records. The Update Material Cost, Archive, and Update Pending and Archive actions behave as they did in previous releases. However, now each action supports scheduled automation. Another valuable enhancement to the cost rollup results is the visibility of the specific warehouse for the bills of material. This gives manufacturers who manage bills of material by warehouse the ability to run cost rollups for only the intended warehouse or warehouses. Focusing back on the cost change, I can compare the generated unit cost with the current costs on the bills of material to analyze the impact that processing the cost change will have. The pending cost for the steel raw material is $30 and the current cost is $20. I see planned cost of the gun barrel for 5 units of steel is $100. And the cost rollup results is showing the material cost at $150. Now I will choose Process All for the update materials action, and all bills of material containing the steel material will be recalculated. Getting back to our storyline, Tinks-A-Lot has a government project to build 10 gun turrets. Due to the lengthy production timeline, they've chosen to manage costs and billing through the Acumatica Projects module, enabling progressive billing rather than waiting until production is completed. On the Balances tab of the project screen, I can view the budgeted revenue and expenses for the project. As work has yet to be performed on the linked production order, the actual values remain 0. I will open the production order maintenance screen and take a look at the planned production costs on the Production Totals tab. The planned unit costs shown here reflect the cost roll change applied to the gun turret bill of material I just performed. I can also see that there is a planned variable overhead of $210 for this production. I will quickly drill into the details to see that there is a $10 planned variable overhead for the inspection operation to cover the cost of consumables, and a $200 overhead cost on the painting operation to cover the cost of the robot and the spray booth expense. This information is important to note because when I issue the material to the production order, I will see this overhead value captured in both the production and the project at the time the material transaction is released. Prior to 2025 R2, the variable overhead was not captured until a quantity was reported on the operation. But before I issue the materials, I would like to highlight a couple other features introduced in 2025 R2. The raw materials and components for the production of the gun turret assembly are located in a designated staging area named Prod Stage. On the warehouse's screen, notice that the Sales Allowed checkbox is not selected. This allows the production materials to be issued to a production order, but not shipped on a sales order. This is a great feature for manufacturers in 2025 R2 that want to set aside inventory specific to production and have confidence that the inventory will not be shipped to satisfy a sale. So now I am ready to issue the material, and from the production order maintenance screen, I'll first release the production order, and then select Release Materials from the Action menu. You may notice the name change of this screen from Material Wizard 2 to a now more appropriately titled screen, Select Materials to Release. As the fire control system component of the gun turret is lot tracked, I need to specify the lot numbers for the materials being issued. Clicking the Add Lot Serial Number button opens a pop-up panel where I can enter the inventory ID and use the search field to filter the lot results, including attributes, which is new in 2025 R2. This allows me to narrow down the selection to only those lots that include the version I need. As a reminder, the Painting Work Center includes a variable material overhead calculation to account for the expense of the painting robot and spray booth. With the release of the material transaction, the actual variable overhead cost for the production order has increased. Notice the production WIP value takes into account the material cost and the overhead cost. Returning to the project created to manage the gun turret production, notice that the WIP account group reflects the full production WIP, as both the material costs and the associated variable overhead for materials were issued to the production order. Capturing variable overhead cost when it is incurred ensures that project invoices, especially for companies billing based on project WIP, accurately reflect the variable overhead tied to the linked production order. Fast forwarding a bit, let's presume production of 2 of the gun turrets is complete. I will create a new move transaction for a quantity of 2 gun turrets and select the line details to assign the serial numbers. The line details pop-up panel now displays a list of associated attributes that should be captured upon receipt into inventory. Even though lot serial attributes were introduced for sales and purchasing in 2025 R1, the ability to assign attributes on production completion is new in 2025 R2. I will choose the Use Attributes from First Line button to streamline data entry by copying the entered values for the first row to the second. Attributes are user-defined and can be assigned at the item class or the item level. Some common lot serial attribute use cases might be to capture general production details like assembly line and manufacture date, or quality information like inspector ID, quality readings, and even compliance tagging. New with 2025 R2, the manufacturing module tracks all inventory issues and receipts related to production on the production transaction screen. Using this new screen, a cost accountant can see all the cost transactions associated with the issue of material or receipt of inventory for a production order. A link to the related journal transaction batch is captured on the Financial tab, and a reference to the originating manufacturing batch is provided on the Manufacturing tab. When investigating any cost anomalies, this screen can be a time saver. Speaking of anomalies, before I end the demo today, I want to highlight one more feature. In 2025 R2, a few manufacturing generic inquiries were introduced that leverage AI and the anomaly detection functionality. Now, instead of manually searching for significant production, labor, and material variances, manufacturers can have AI serve up a list of production order operations that contain unexpected variances. Additionally, for those manufacturers tracking actual labor costs, a new variance by employee generic inquiry can help identify employee-specific anomalies to help drive employee incentive programs or identify employee training opportunities. Let's recap today's demonstration. You saw how the BOM cost role has been separated into 2 screens to improve usability and support automation schedules. How attributes of lot and serial tracked items can be used for search on material issue and assigned upon production receipt. That variable overhead for labor and material is captured on the respective transaction instead of on the operation move. That production can transact in warehouse locations not designated for sales orders. And how anomaly detection can be leveraged on out-of-the-box manufacturing variance generic inquiries.
Thanks, Angie. With 2025 R2, we are excited to introduce improvements to our scheduling data visibility for both finite and infinite scheduling models. These enhancements will provide you with a more comprehensive view of your production schedules, enabling better decision-making and resource allocation. Let's start with infinite scheduling. Customers utilizing infinite scheduling will now have access to the non-APS capacity and planning views. This feature expansion allows for greater flexibility in production planning and resource management across different scheduling paradigms. Let me show you what's included. As we had conversations with many of you, you expressed the need to preview work center capacity and utilization over a defined time period, even when finite scheduling is not in use. Now, even without APS being enabled, you can access the work center capacity screen. In addition, we have hidden the columns related to finite scheduling on the screen when finite scheduling is not enabled. The work center capacity view gives teams a clear picture of how resources are being used without needing advanced planning and scheduling. You can see how each work center is loaded over time, helping you spot potential bottlenecks before they impact production. It's a simplified, focused view so planners get just the information they need to make smart, timely decisions. Similar to what we've done with Work Center capacity, we've also given you access to the Work Center schedule. The Work Center schedule view helps you monitor how operations are scheduled across each work center. You'll see which jobs are planned, when they're scheduled, and how they align with your delivery goals. With a standardized 30-minute block size, it's easier to maintain consistency across production orders. And since it's available with a manufacturing feature, there's no extra setup required. Now let's talk about the enhancements we did for finite scheduling. In manufacturing, time is everything. A single delay in a production order can ripple through the entire schedule, impacting delivery dates, customer satisfaction, and resource planning. Yet, so many teams still rely on fragmented systems and manual coordination to manage complex production workflows. That's the challenge we set out to solve. With the enhanced production schedule board, manufacturers now have a real-time graphical view of a single production order and its subassemblies. It's not just about seeing what's happening. It's about understanding dependencies, spotting delays early, and taking action instantly. The result? Faster decisions, fewer conflicts, and better on-time delivery. Let me show you. The production order view form gives me a consolidated real-time view of every level of a production order. Here, I can view my operations, materials that are not fully issued, and child production orders on a single screen, utilizing a visual Gantt chart. On the left side of the screen, I can see this production order with its indented bill of material. I can collapse and expand to narrow down what is displayed in the Gantt view. I can also see all of the linked production orders with the line connecting the production orders. The color-coded roll-up bar at the top of the screen represents the time it takes to complete the finished good and all of its linked subassemblies. Notice that my bar is purple, and that's because it has a status of planned. Visual indicators show me whether or not production orders are late, early, or on time. One subassembly is early, marked with the green information icon. Another is unscheduled, shown with zebra stripes. These visual cues help me to spot issues fast. Right from this view, I can go ahead and schedule the subassembly. And now I can see that the subassembly is going to be late. I'm going to go ahead and firm the schedule to lock it in. At the bottom of the screen, I can see all of my operations. To make this screen larger, simply click on the up arrow button. Here, you can quickly review unissued materials and operation status across all child and parent production orders, right from a single form. I can view this form by hours, days, and weeks, and I can create saved filters. When you're managing a single production order, especially one with multiple subassemblies, it's easy to lose sight of the details. You're constantly switching between screens, chasing down updates, and trying to make decisions with incomplete information. That's where the production order view comes in. It gives you a clear, consolidated view of the entire order and its dependencies. You can see status at a glance, what's on hold, what's in progress, what's delayed, and take action right from the board. No extra steps and no guesswork. You also get visibility into material and operation status, which helps you plan more effectively. And because customer service teams can also access the same view, they can answer order status questions without interrupting production. It's a practical tool that helps teams stay aligned, respond faster, and keep production moving. As you've seen throughout today's session, we're continuing to invest in features that help manufacturers streamline operations, improve visibility, and drive efficiency. As we wrap up today's presentation, we'd like to encourage you to visit the Acumatica community website to stay engaged. On the community, you can create or vote on product enhancement ideas, plus participate in discussion forums. You can find this at community.acumatica.com. And if you're looking for more in-depth content related to Acumatica manufacturing, please access the Manufacturing Edition page on acumatica.com, where you'll find demos, data sheets, and testimonials. On behalf of the manufacturing team, thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you're ready to explore the new features in Acumatica 2025 R2, you can find everything you need on the community site. Just head to Product Downloads and look for the Acumatica 2025 R2 topic. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to reach out using the email addresses shown on this slide. Your feedback helps us continue building solutions that truly support your business. We appreciate your partnership and wish you continued success in your manufacturing journey.